Hello everybody and welcome. Melissa here at TCT Crafts. Today we're going to be doing a fun gingerbread themed wreath, and so I want to go over some of the supplies that we're going to be using today. We will have a kit available for this. We have a limited number, but we will have a kit. I will link all the supplies as well as the kit information down in the description of this video. So make sure you check out the description. It'll have all the product links and a link for the kit if you want to get the kit as well. I'm going to try a different angle view for you guys today. Hopefully this will be able to, you'll be able to see a little bit more of what we're doing with this angle, and let me know in the comments if this is better for you guys than the overhead view. Okay, so we are going to be using a 20-inch wreath base. Now this will be in the kit. I am a little extra and I like to put in another wreath just because I like mine super full. This is what I am doing. It will not be part of the kit, okay? You will get the 24-inch wreath, and it is optional if you add something else. You do not have to do that whatsoever. That is just something I'm going to be doing for this design, okay? But you will get a 20-inch wreath base. We're going to be using one roll of our red and white striped mesh. We're going to be using a couple of these fun gingerbread poinsettia picks. We have our gingerbread little cookies, little sprays. We're going to be using some of our gingerbread ornaments. Aren't those just adorable? So we're going to be using a couple of those. And then I just brought in one greenery because we're going to use the mesh. I'm not going to go crazy overboard with the greenery, but I brought in 2 pine sprays that we'll use. And then our ribbon, we have our gingerbread ribbon. So this is what will be in the kit. I am going to probably go in with this Ferris silk. I do not know how many we have these available, so they will not be in the kit. But you will have the gingerbread ribbon, and you can pair it with whatever red ribbon that you want. Okay, so those are the supplies that we are going to be using. Let me go ahead and clear the table and we'll get started. Okay, and I am so sorry, but I forgot to show you our cute little sign. This is our star of the show for this design, is this adorable little gingerbread boy sign. So he will be in the kit. We do have a gingerbread girl that's the same color palette, so if you'd rather have that, you can order that as well. But this little guy will be what is in the kit, okay? So let's go ahead, and before we work on our mesh, let's get him ready to go. So he does have a little hanger right here, so we will wrap a pipe cleaner around the hanger. But then I'm also gonna get a little cable tie mount, and we're going to add it down to the bottom here. Now I am going to use, I would normally use my super glue, oops, but I don't think I have it over here. Let me see. Yes, I do. Okay. So because this is metal, that hot glue might peel off. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of super glue around here. And we're gonna let that dry while we work on our mesh. Okay, so I'm just gonna set that aside. Let's get our wreath base fluffed up and ready to go. So this is a 20-inch. Use whatever size you want. If you want a bigger one, if you want a smaller one. I'm just going to kind of fluff some of these pines up. So I'm going to take a couple of these pines from the bottom one and just twist. And then I'll also probably use a couple zip ties. I'm just going to twist these together. Let me go ahead and get a zip tie. I'm just gonna run that through. All right, so I've got 2 zip ties on there, as well as we've tied some of the branches together, so we are good to go. It is not going to come apart. So I'll fluff this up a little bit. Okay, and you can see now how much fuller it is. But that, again, that's just my preference. It will be just fine if you don't do that. Okay, so now let's go in with our mesh. I'm just gonna use 1 roll. And if you are new, and this is your first time watching, first off, welcome. We're glad to have you, and thanks for watching the video, and I hope you enjoy it. But I do not measure my mesh. So if you're first time watching, I just drop it to the floor. I hold it up and I cut around my belly button. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this whole roll up, and then we'll get ready to add it to our base. Okay, so we have all of our mesh cut up. Now, I put it up to my chest, I roll the ends in, and then just scrunch it. That's just gonna keep or help the mesh from fraying. All mesh is gonna fray, but that's just gonna help it a little bit since we tuck it in our ends. And I'm just gonna start going around the sides. And I just twist really tightly. So I'll do a couple of these together, and then I will fast forward to the ending when we're done. Okay, so you see I'm just twisting those ties. Let's get another one. And I'm just going a couple inches and then pushing it down in there. It's a nice thing about winter and Christmas designs, it's okay if the pine shows. So I'm not worried about getting complete coverage. Just giving it a little bit of filler because I'm not going in with much green wreath. I decided to do a mesh wreath with you guys. I don't do a lot of mesh ones during the holidays. But I know the greenery can get very expensive if you use a lot of it. So I decided to do a mesh wreath with you guys today, a little bit less expensive because we have a lot of our fun little gingerbread ornaments and sprays that have a little, you know, a little bit more cost to them. So I was trying to keep it down a little bit by using just a little bit of greenery. Okay, so I've gone all the way around the outside, and I'm gonna take these last couple pieces that I have, and I'm gonna go on the inside. We're gonna have our sign there in the middle, so we don't need a lot of mesh. You could actually even skip adding it in the middle. But since I have a couple pieces just left, if you just wanted to use like maybe half your roll of mesh, space it out a little bit more, and then save the other half for another project, you definitely could do that because I have a couple extra pieces here that I didn't use, and I could have spaced those a little bit more and probably gotten away with half a roll. But we'll just go ahead and get it added just because I don't want to save these couple little pieces. Okay, so we have our base done. Let's get our sign added. So I'm just gonna grab 2 pipe cleaners. And I'm gonna run this first pipe cleaner through that little whatever you call that thing, the little mount. And we might actually need, well, we can probably make it work because we've got two. I was thinking we might need to tie 2 pipe cleaners together to make it a little longer, but we might can make it work. If not, we'll add it. And I'm just adding that last one on that cable tie mount. Okay, and then just gonna run it through. I'm gonna find that wire, the wire from the wreath base. And I'm just gonna twist it. I'm not gonna do it too tight just yet. Let me get the other one added and then I'll come back and really secure that. So again, I'm finding that wire, wrapping the pipe cleaner underneath. And then I could take and tie this one down there. Maybe. There we go. Making sure I get it tied really good. All right. Now let's go back on this side. I'm gonna undo this one real quick and tie it a little tighter. There we go. Okay. So we have our little guy nice and secured. He is not gonna go anywhere. Before we put our ribbon, I think I want to look at where my ornaments are going to go. So we're going to do 2. And so I'm thinking 1 here and 1 up in here. So let's go ahead and get this guy added. Super shaky today for some reason, y'all. So bear with me. Okay, there is a little hanger because these are ornaments. So I think I'm gonna take that hanger and I'm gonna twist pine tie, twist it through a pine tie. Okay, and then I'm gonna also take my glue and just glue the mess out of it. Okay, I'm gonna let that one set. Let's get the other one. Okay, this guy's gonna sit right up here. So good, I'm gonna take that, let me get them glued in first. I'm just trying to create a little pocket for it to sit in. I see I'm just creating like a little, pushing that down. And then I'm going to take the little hanger and wrap this pipe cleaner around it. Or not pipe cleaner, the little pine branch. I'm wrapping that around that. So that's going to help hold it in there as well. Okay, we have our cute little ornaments on there. Okay, now let's add a bow. So I think we'll have one right here for sure. Maybe one right up in here. So I'm gonna go in with our 2.5 inch gingerbread. And I'm just gonna make a loop and pinch it. And I'm gonna twist and pinch. Let me make sure my loops are about the same size, which they appear to be. All right, I think that's a pretty good size. And add whatever red ribbon you have or whatever coordinating ribbon you have. I'm gonna just go in with this red one. Now I think, let me go ahead and just tie this off for a second. I'm not very good at my hand bows yet when it comes to more than one ribbon, so it's easier if I tie that off and then do my second one. I'm just twisting that. Now we have our loops. Let me go ahead and cut this. I have just, look, I have just a little bit of this left, so we'll use that somewhere in just a second. All right, now I'm going to use a pick. You can just tie this down into the wreath, but when you do that, you're gonna suck your bow down in there. So I'm just going to add a little pick on here. And I'll wrap that wire around here. Excuse me. And then I'm going to add some glue. I'm just going to kind of push that right in there. Okay, and I'm going to let that dry for a second, and then we'll support our bow with some greenery. Let's maybe add a little half bow on this side since I have that little bit of that extra red. just gonna be a little baby bow with that red. I'm just gonna take 2 of these ties. Now this one I'll just go ahead and put in there. I'm gonna leave this tail a little bit longer. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a dovetail. The red is velvet. I'm just gonna fold it up underneath. Okay, let's get this one done over here. Again, I'm gonna leave these a little longer. I can always trim them once I hang it up. But I want to make sure, because we're going to be adding some greenery and our little picks and sprays in here. I want to make sure our ribbon's long enough. And this I'll just fold up. Okay. Now, let's see if we want to add some more little tails with our gingerbread ribbon. I think we will add a couple. So I am just taking, I don't measure my tails. Just gonna find 2 ties, push it in there, twist really good. And then I'm gonna give them a dovetail. Let's see where else we want. Maybe right, because we also have our little sprays. I'm thinking maybe right down underneath this ornament, we can add another one, another tail. So again, I'm just pushing that in there. I did not measure. I'm gonna leave it a little bit on the longer side. We can trim it down. But we don't want our ribbon getting lost in our wreath by the time we add our picks and sprays. Okay, so we've got that tail there. We've got our little half bow here, so I don't think we need a tail there. Maybe right here we'll do our last little tail. So right next to this ornament. And that should be it on the ribbon. Again, I'll cut that down if we need to cut it down later after we get our picks and sprays and stuff in there. Okay, so I've got a little tail right there. I'm gonna go ahead and put the ribbon away. Now let's go in with, let's get our little poinsettia, our gingerbread poinsettias added. Aren't these? Let's use my good scissors. Y'all see that? Okay, let's get these added. These are just so cute. I'm gonna cut them. I don't need the stem that incredibly long. I think we'll add this first one sort of right in the crease, right where we added this tail. And so the tail's just gonna kind of come out from underneath it. Now, I'm gonna take 2 of these pine branches and wrap around that. And then I'll glue it as well. But that way it's got the branches that is wrapped around it. And it should help hold it in there good. Isn't that cute? Cute, cute. I brought 3 of these. I don't know if we'll use all 3, probably. I like to work in 1, 2s, or 3s. We've got 2 on the paws, so I think we'll do 3 on these. Good, I'm gonna cut this down. I think we'll go underneath this ornament. right there. So again, I'm going to find pine branch, twist it around there, and then hit it with the glue. And I am very generous with my glue. I use the Gorilla Glue. I have not had any issues. Matter of fact, when I have taken some of my designs apart later because they didn't sell and I go to try to take them apart, man, I have to work super hard to get them apart. So the Gorilla Glue works really good. Okay, so we have one more. And I'm thinking maybe up in here. You can see his head right there. I got kind of this bald spot. So let me cut this and we'll see if we like it there. I'm not gonna glue it yet. Gotta keep in mind that it's gonna be hanging up. So what does that look like when it's hanging up? Let me raise the camera just a hair. Okay, I raised y'all up just a hair. Hopefully that's a little bit better. So I was originally thinking about putting it up here, but once you raise it up, it's gonna look kind of strange. It's gonna look like he has like some bangs or something going on. So I think we're gonna put it on the side over here, right there, kind of next to our little half bow. So I'm gonna take these pine branches again and twist, and then push that down in there. And then add our glue all in there. Okay. So our bow over here should be dry now. Let's add some of our greenery to kind of help support our bow. And then the last thing we have is our little cookies. So we'll get those added in a minute. So I'm just gonna cut this branch up. And we're gonna get, how many? 1, 2, 3, 5 pieces out of it. I brought 2, so hopefully that's enough. Okay, and I'm gonna go right up underneath. We're gonna give our little loop-de-loops some support. You see that? I'm just gonna go right up underneath them. Just gonna hit it with some glue. You can put it on a pick if you want. But I got lots of pine in there, so I am just gonna tuck it in like that. Okay, let's get another piece. I'm gonna go up underneath. And that's gonna help give our little loops and our tails some support. See how that's giving it some support there? Okay, let's go on this side. So north, south, east, and west. Okay, let's get our last one down here. Super fun. Look at that. Cute, cute. You can give these a bend if you need to bend it in a certain direction. Okay, now let's add some of our other pieces. And I think I'm going to add one right in there. Let me see if I want to go underneath. I think I'm going to go underneath. You can see this tail here. I was originally looking at going on top, but I think that looks a little funny, so we're going to go underneath. I'm getting right in those pine branches. and every time they get hooked on my ring. Okay, let's cut up our last one. And we're just gonna hit it in a few places. All right. I'm gonna go here underneath our little half bow. Just giving it a little bit of a bend so that it's flowing in the right direction here. Now I'm gonna go up underneath our tail from our half bow. Okay, you'll see I just went up underneath our tail there. And you can see why I try to keep those tails a little longer, because by the time you add your greenery and stuff in there, it shrinks it. So it would have been way up in here if we cut it shorter. Let's go right in there. Just trying to keep up with our perimeter. And making sure that I'm kind of going all the way around. I need to add one down here. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I just added one down at the bottom. And let's get our last piece over at the bottom, but sort of over just a little bit, because we're trying to make sure it blends all the way around. And it looks like we've got one little piece we might need another piece there. So I might put three of these in the kit. Let me see. Well, I think it'll be all right, y'all, and that way it can keep the cost down. Because we got these picks too, so let's add them, and if we need it, we will. But I think by the time we add these, we're gonna be good. Because we got two of them. So I'm just pulling them apart, cutting them. Oops, that one went flying. Okay, so let's add some of these. We're just gonna go around the outside, so I've just tucked one in there. We might tuck one up by our little bow. Let me see. Don't want to lose our gingy, but I think that's cute in there like that. So I just went straight down in there. See, I just tucked that straight down in there. I think we'll do one on this side of the bow. I'm gonna cut this down just a tiny bit. Okay, now let's go up under here, kind of right next to our little ornament ball. And cut that down just a tiny bit. And that kind of building that little void we have there. Let's go right in here on this side. Okay. Let's go ahead and take our last one. I'm dropping stuff everywhere, y'all. Our last one, so we want to be strategic with where we put them. I think I want one tucked right in there. So I just tucked one kind of right in the center there. Tuck one kind of right up underneath our tail. Let's go right on top of our greenery over here by our little ornament. Cute. I'm going to go right up under this guy, right there, right on the other side of our greenery. Just right in there. We got one more little piece. One more piece. Let's see where we want this guy. Where do we want it? I may save it for when I hang it up, because then I'm really going to be able to tell where I need it. I could put it right there. I'm going to save this last little one. I'm going to hang it up. And I'm gonna see what it looks like and see where I think we need to put it. All right, y'all, so here is our finished gingerbread wreath design. Isn't that just so adorable? I love how this one turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you're new, we would love to have you subscribe to our channel. Click that little notification bell and you'll be notified every time we have a new tutorial. We love to do all kinds of front door wreaths, centerpieces, arrangements, all the things with faux florals. And so we would love to have you join our channel. So I think that's it. Until next time, bye y'all.